Hello everyone. So this is the last chapter of class 12th geography, Indian geography, and we are so happy to completing this series with you all and everyone who present and viewed the videos. Thank you for your support and we wish you all the very best in your exams. Now we understand that it can be a little bit tiring studying all of these subjects, but this is what the exam is for, and don't treat it as an exam but treat it as a way of life, as to um, we'll be working for the greatest nation in this world, and we have to and ought to know everything, the smallest detail about this country, this great country that we are born into. So let's focus and let's finish the final chapter with a bang. All right, chapter number 12, geographical perspective on selected issues and problems. Environmental pollution. Environmental pollution results from the release of substances and energy from waste products of human activities. There are many types of pollution. They are classified on the basis of medium through which pollutants are transported and diffused. Pollution can be classified into air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, and noise pollution. Water pollution. Indiscriminate use of water by increasing population and industrial expansion has led to degradation of quality of water considerably. Surface water available from rivers, canals, lakes, etc. is never pure. It contains small quantities of suspended particles, organic, inorganic substances. When concentration of these substances increases, the water becomes polluted and hence becomes unfit for use. In such a situation, the self purifying capacity of water is unable to purify the water. Industries produce several undesirable products, including industrial wastes, polluted wastewater, poisonous gases, chemical residues, numerous heavy metals, dust, smoke, etc. Most of the industrial waste are disposed of in running water or lakes. Consequently, poisonous elements reach the reservoirs, rivers, and other water bodies, which destroy the biosystem of these waters. Major water polluting industries are leather, pulp, and paper textiles and chemicals. Various types of chemicals used in modern agriculture, such as inorganic fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides, are also pollution generating components. These chemicals are washed down to rivers, lakes, and tanks. These chemicals also infiltrate the soil to reach the groundwater. Fertilizer induces an increase in the nitrate content of surface waters. Cultural activities such as pilgrimage, religious fairs, tourism, etc., also cause water pollution. In India, almost all surface water sources are contaminated and unfit for human consumption. Water pollution is a source of various waterborne diseases. The diseases commonly caused due to contaminated water are diarrhea, intestinal worms, hepatitis, etc. The World Health Organization shows that about one fourth of the communicable diseases in India are waterborne. Though river pollution is common to all rivers, yet pollution of river Ganga flowing through one of the most populous regions in India has caused great concerns among all. To improve the condition of the river, the National Mission for Clean Ganga was initiated. The Namami Gange program has been launched for the same. Air pollution. Air pollution is taken as an addition of contaminants like dust, fumes, gas, fog, odor, smoke, or vapor into air in substantial proportion and duration that may be harmful to flora and fauna and to property. With increasing use of varieties of fuels as source of energy, there is a marked increase in emission of toxic gases into the atmosphere, resulting in the pollution of air. Combustion of fossil fuels, mining, and industries are the main sources of air pollution. These processes release oxides of sulfur and nitrogen, hydrocarbons, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, lead, and asbestos. Air pollution causes various diseases related to respiratory, nervous, and circulatory systems. Smoky fog over cities is called as urban smog, is caused by atmospheric pollution. It proves very harmful to human health. Air pollution can also cause acid rains. Rainwater analysis of urban environment has indicated that pH value of the first rain after summer is always lower than the subsequent rains. Noise pollution. Noise pollution refers to the state of unbearable and uncomfortable to human beings which is caused by noise from different sources. This matter has become a serious concern only in recent years due to a variety of technological innovations. The main sources of noise pollution are various factories, mechanized construction and demolition works, automobiles and aircraft, etc. There may be added periodical but polluting noise from sirens, loudspeakers used in various festivals, programs associated with community activities. The level of steady noise is measured by sound level expressed in terms of decibels, dB. Of all these sources, the biggest nuisance is the noise produced by traffic because its intensity and nature depend upon factors such as type of aircraft, vehicle, train, and the condition of the road, as well as the vehicle in case of automobiles. In sea traffic, the noise pollution is confined to the harbor due to loading and unloading activities being carried. Industries cause noise pollution but with varying intensity depending upon the type of industry. Noise pollution is location specific and its intensity declines with the increase in distance from source of pollution, that is industrial areas, arteries of transportation, airport, etc. Noise pollution is hazardous in many metropolitan and big cities in India. Urban waste disposal. Urban areas are generally marked by overcrowding, congestion, inadequate facilities to support the fast growing population, and consequent poor sanitary conditions and foul in air. Environmental pollution by solid wastes has now got significance because of enormous growth in the quantity of waste generated from various sources. Solid waste refer to a variety of old and used articles. For example, stained small pieces of metal, broken glassware, plastic containers, polythene bags, ash, floppies, CDs, etc., dumped at different places. These discarded materials are also termed as refuse, garbage, and rubbish, etc., and are disposed of from two sources. First, household or domestic establishment, and second, industrial or commercial establishments. The household wastes are disposed of either on public lands or on private contractor sites, whereas the solid waste of industrial units are collected and disposed of through public municipal facilities at low lying public grounds. The huge turn of ashes and debris from industries, thermal powerhouses, and building constructions or demolitions have posed problems of serious consequences. Solid waste cause health hazard through creation of obnoxious smell and harboring of flies and rodents, which act as carriers of diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, diphtheria, malaria, cholera, etc. These wastes cause frequent nuisance as and when these are carelessly handled. Spread by wind and splitted through rainwater, concentration of industrial units in and around urban centers gives rise to disposal of industrial waste. The dumping of industrial waste into the river leads to water pollution. River pollution from city based industries and untreated sewage leads to serious health problems downstream. Urban waste disposal is a serious problem in India. In metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Bengaluru, etc., about 90% of the solid waste is collected and disposed. But in most other cities and towns in the country, about 30 to 50% of the waste generated are left uncollected, which accumulate on streets, in open spaces, between houses, and in wastelands, leading to serious health hazards. These wastes should be treated as resource and utilized for generating energy and compost. Untreated waste from ferment slowly and release toxic biogas to atmosphere, including methane. Rural urban migration. Population flow from rural to urban areas is caused by many factors like high demand for labor in urban areas, low job opportunities in rural areas, and unbalanced pattern of development between urban and rural areas. In India, population in cities is rapidly increasing. Due to low opportunities in smaller and medium cities, the poor people generally bypass these small cities and directly come to the mega cities for their livelihood. A case study given below to have better understanding of the subject. Read it carefully and try to comprehend the process of rural urban migration. Case study: Ramesh has been working as a contract welder on construction site in Talcher, coal region of Odisha. In the last 2 years, he moved on the with the contractor to various places like Surat, Mumbai, Gandhinagar, Bharuch, Jamnagar, and so on. He remits rupees 20,000 per year to his father in his native village. The remittances have been mainly used for daily consumption, healthcare, schooling of children, etc. Part of the money is also used in agriculture, purchasing of land, and building houses, etc. The standard of living in Ramesh's family improved significantly. 15 years ago, the situation was not the same. The family was passing through a very tough times. Three of his brothers and their families had to survive on 3 acres of land. The family was highly in debt. Ramesh had to discontinue his studies after the ninth standard. He was further hard pressed when he got married. Simultaneously, he was also impressed by some successful outmigrants of his village who had been working in Ludhiana and supporting their families in the village by sending money and some consumer goods. Thus, due to abject poverty in the family and perceived job promises at Ludhiana, he made the move to Punjab with his friend. He worked there in a wooden factory for 6 months at the rate of only rupees 20 per day in 1988. Apart from this crisis of managing his personal expenditure from the meager income, he was also facing difficulty in assimilation to the new culture and environment. Then he decided to change his place of work from Ludhiana to Surat under the guidance of his friend. He learned the skills of welding in Surat, and after that he has been moving to different places with the same contractor. Though the economic conditions of Ramesh's family at the village improved, he is bearing the pain of separation of his near and dear ones. He cannot shift them with him as the job is temporary and transferable. Comments: In developing countries, poor and semi illiterate and unskilled labor like Ramesh migrating from rural areas frequently end up performing menial jobs at low wages in informal sector in urban areas. Since wages are very low to support the family at the place of destination, the spouses are left behind in rural areas to look after children and elderly people. Thus, the rural urban migration stream is dominated by the males. Problems of slums. The concept of urban or urban center is defined in settlement geography to differentiate from the rural about which you have learned in the previous chapters of the book. You have also learned in the book entitled Fundamentals of Human Geography that this concept is defined differently in different countries. Both urban and rural settlements are different in their functions, sometimes complementing each other. Apart from these, the rural and urban areas have also emerged into two separate cultural, social, political, economic, and technological divide. India, which has a predominance of rural population, approximately 69% of the total population in 2011, and where villages were considered the ideal republics by Mahatma Gandhi, most of the rural areas are still poor performing primary activities. Here, most of the villages exist as appendix to the core urban center, forming its hinterland. This may give an impression that urban centers exist as undifferentiated, homogeneous entities in opposition to the rural areas. On the contrary, urban centers in India are more differentiated in terms of the socio-economic, political culture, and other indicators of development than any other areas. At the top, these are farmhouses and high income group localities characterized by well developed urban infrastructures like wide roads, street lights, water and sanitation facilities, lawns, well developed green belt, parks, playgrounds, and provisions for individual security and right to privacy. At the other extreme of it are the slums, juggi jhopdi clusters, and colonies of shanty structures. These are inhabited by those people who were forced to migrate from the rural areas And these urban centers in search of livelihood but could not afford proper housing due to high rent and high cost of the land. They occupy environmentally incompatible and degraded areas. Slums are residential areas of the least choice, depleted houses, poor hygienic conditions, poor ventilation, lack of basic amenities like drinking water, light, and toilet facilities, etc. Open defecation, unregulated drainage system, and overcrowded narrow street patterns are a serious health and socio-environmental hazards. Moreover, most of the slum population works in low-paid, high-risk prone, unorganized sectors of urban economy. Consequently, they are undernourished, prone to different types of diseases and illness, and cannot afford to give proper education to their children. The poverty makes them vulnerable to drug abuse, alcoholism, crime, vandalism, escapism, apathy, and ultimately social exclusion. Land degradation. The pressure on agricultural land increases not only due to limited land availability but also by deterioration of quality of agricultural land. Soil erosion, waterlogging, salinization, and alkalization of land lead to land degradation. What happens if land is consistently used without managing its fertility? Land is degraded and productivity declines. Land degradation is generally understood either as temporary or a permanent decline in productive capacity of the land. Through all, degraded land may not be wasteland, but unchecked process of degradation may lead to conversion to wasteland. There are two processes that induce land degradation. These are natural and created by human beings. National Remote Sensing Center NRSC has classified wastelands by using remote sensing techniques, and it is possible to categorize these wastelands according to the processes that have created them. There are a few types of wastelands such as gullied or ravenous land, desertic or coastal sands, barren or rocky areas, steep sloping lands, and glacial areas, which are primarily caused by natural agents. There are other types of degraded lands such as waterlogged and marshy areas, land affected by salinity and alkalinity, and land with or without scrub, which have largely been caused by natural as well as human factors. There are some other types of wasteland such as degraded shifting cultivation area, degraded land under plantation crops, degraded forest, degraded pastures, and mining and industrial wastelands are caused by human action. Table 12.3 indicates the wastelands caused by man-made processes are more important than natural processes. There is a case study below, and we request your disposal to read this case study on your own. With this, we can finish this chapter with a successful ending to class 12 geography, that is Indian geography. We would wish you all the very best, and if you stay till the end of the video, do press the share subscribe button and share the videos with other aspirants as well. It would help us tremendously, and it is a no cost way of helping the channel grow and supporting us in a way. Thank you everyone for tuning in and being with us in this entire series. We wish you all the very best for your exams. If you have any comments, questions, feedbacks, we have a Telegram channel as well, and a Twitter channel as well. So you can reach us out over mail, Twitter, anything that you would like, and ask us the questions that you have doubts in. We would love to answer and help you out. With this, we're also starting an optional channel where we would specifically focus on the optional subjects and help students to figure out and how to navigate their optionals correctly. With this, I would like to end this series and thank you all for staying throughout the series, watching the videos, understanding, reading the chapter again and again, revising the chapter again and again. And I just wish you everyone all the very best for your futures. Thank you, everyone.